After an absence due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many Texas Tech homecoming traditions are back on the schedule. Coming up, we'll let you know how you can enjoy all the fun of Homecoming Week 2021.
Homecoming isn't the only thing on campus that was affected by the pandemic. The university's efforts to keep Tech green were also put on hold after the on-campus recycling center shut down. Find out how a new partnership is giving the Tech community some new options to help save the environment.
And after a rough start to conference play, the Texas Tech football team was hoping for a much different outcome as they headed to West Virginia over the weekend. But could the team find a way to win against the Mountaineers? MCTV's Nathan Boles has highlights from that game along with a look around Tech athletics in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Patricia Perry.
And I'm Matthew Zimmerman.
Today marks the first day of homecoming week here on the Texas Tech campus, and it's an important milestone after COVID-19 caused the cancellation of almost all of the in-person traditions last fall. But this year, the annual schedule of events is back in full swing with options scheduled for every day this week. Earlier today, homecoming week officially got underway with the homecoming kickoff celebration at Red Raider Plaza. Tech Pom Squad and Saddle Tramps were on hand to help attendees get in the school spirit. This year's candidates for Homecoming King and Queen were also introduced during the rally. Today's kickoff was the first of several annual events that are held this week that allow current students the chance to experience Red Raider traditions.
Homecoming week is important because it's a tradition for Texas Tech and it allows students to kind of get that feel of what it's like to be a Red Raider. I love it and it's a lot of fun and it gets a lot of different people involved and everyone on campus brings together as well.
After today's kickoff, the student body will have a chance to vote on this year's homecoming court, with the winners announced at Saturday's homecoming game.
Today's homecoming kickoff was only one of more than a dozen events taking place before Saturday's annual homecoming football game. The schedule continues tomorrow with 2 fun activities and a popular event. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., the National Pan-Atlantic Council will be celebrating Taco Tuesday by selling tacos in the Sub-West Plaza. You can get a taco for $2, 3 for $5, or you can donate a non-perishable food item for a free taco. Once you've gotten your tacos, you can stop next door by the Red Raider Plaza to pick up a unique homecoming keepsake during the Spin Art Fun event. Attendees will have the chance to decorate a frisbee using a selection of paints while the disc spins. Spin Art Fun also starts at 11 a.m. and will go until 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And Homecoming Tuesday wraps up at 8 p.m. with an annual favorite, the student organization Sing. Student groups along with campus fraternities and sororities will compete for first prize as they perform choreographed routines to songs based on this year's homecoming theme. So Sing starts at 8 p.m. tomorrow night at the United Supermarkets Arena, and it's free and open to the campus community.
In other news, a local group focused on the health of West Texas wildlife welcomed in the public for a special event for the first time in more than a year and a half. On Saturday, the South Plains Wildlife Rehabilitation Center hosted their first open house since the beginning of the pandemic. The center is a place for injured or orphaned animals to be treated before they are released back into the wild. Saturday's event featured kids' crafts, live music, and a chance to meet some animal ambassadors. Executive Director Gail Barnes says the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center serves 2 primary purposes here in the Lubbock community.
We have 2 uphold mission. It's to rehabilitate native wildlife and return it back to natural habitat and environmental education. And today we're doing environmental education because we'll be educating the public about native wildlife.
The South Plains Wildlife Rehabilitation Center has been open for 33 years. The center is a nonprofit organization that works to keep wildlife safe in our ecosystems, while educating future generations on the importance of maintaining the environment. If you ever come across an injured animal or have other concerns regarding local wildlife, the center is also available to answer questions and offer advice on the situation. Just call 799-2142 for more information.
You may not know it, but Texas Tech has a full-power broadcast radio station that is operated by students. And last week, the station staff and volunteers took advantage of a special annual event to gain some new listeners. World College Radio Day was celebrated last Friday throughout the U.S. and even around the globe. Here on campus, Texas Tech student radio station KTXT-FM hosted a special 24-hour live broadcast during the celebration. KTXT kicked off the marathon at 8 a.m. on Friday and continued until 8 a.m. on Saturday with hopes of helping the Tech community learn about the importance of college radio.
radio is still really important to a lot of people in a lot of places, and a lot of people still listen. Like, it's surprising how many people still like to listen to radio and everything. So college radio is important because it teaches you like the skills that you need to go into radio, and it teaches you a lot about a field that not a lot of people know about or not a lot of people care about. And I think it's very interesting, and I think you get to learn a lot when you do college radio.
During the 24-hour broadcast, KTXT and different students, faculty, and staff host each hour. The marathon included regular shows such as Good Morning Texas Tech and the Rockin' Raider Road Show, along with shifts hosted by volunteer DJs. To learn more about Tech Student Run station as well as catch the online stream, visit ktxtfm.org. You can also listen on air by tuning your radio to 88.1. After nearly a month of mostly dry conditions here on the South Plains, we finally saw some much-needed rain through the area late last week. The rain started last Thursday and continued through early Saturday morning. Here on the Tech campus, we saw nearly an inch of rain through both days, but some areas north of the city received more than 2 inches before the storms moved out.
So with October starting off with wet conditions, does that mean we can expect even more rain as we head into the month? Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. There's been plenty of sunshine visible on the MCTV tower cam today, which is a big change from last week's stormy conditions. Temperatures have also been warmer the last few days, with highs already reaching 80 degrees this afternoon. We should top out in the mid-80s before sunset, with no chance of rain for today. And at the moment, it looks like that will be the norm as we continue through this week. Rain chances will remain almost non-existent over the next 7 days, but that does mean we should be in for some nice weather as we continue into the first week of October. Temperatures will stay mild tomorrow and Wednesday with even more sunshine expected through midweek. But then on Thursday, we'll see a jump in temperatures with highs approaching 90 degrees. Looking ahead, we'll see a return of 90-degree temperatures until a cool front drops back into the 80s over the weekend.
The COVID-19 pandemic brought a lot of changes to Texas Tech, including the reduction of recycling efforts here on campus. But a recent announcement is now giving the tech community a new options to help campus go green. Patricia stopped by the physical plant building to find out more.
In 2020, the Texas Tech Recycling Center closed down. This stirred up a lot of concern about how Texas Tech would be a green campus without these recycling options for students, faculty, and staff. The city of Lubbock has partnered up with Texas Tech to offer more recycling options through the city. Director of Sustainability here at Texas Tech, Carrie Hewitt, talks about how they are hoping this partnership will help out the Texas Tech community.
It gives them a place on campus to come. When we lost the housing recycling center in 2020, that was a place to research, it was a place to work, it was a place to recycle your things. Hopefully we can do most of those functions in the new drop-off center with the city.
Part of Texas Tech's sustainability mission is to share knowledge of the importance of recycling and to give students and staff the opportunity to do so.
It is very important to recycle on campus. It's a life lesson. If you don't know it when you get here, we hope you know it when you leave.
There are over 40,000 students enrolled at Texas Tech. That isn't including the faculty and staff that is also on this campus. That comes with a lot of recyclable materials. Director of Sustainability for the Student Government Association, Stephen Ida, talks about why recycling on a college campus is important.
We're consuming a ton of resources, not just a ton, tons of resources. So even if we can just recycle 1% of that, that's already a lot less pollution or a lot less waste going to landfills.
Ida said while this is a win for the campus in terms of sustainability, there is still tons more we can do. He would advise students to do small things like reusing grocery bags, walking to campus or taking the bus, reusing water bottles, and not getting discouraged because you can't be perfect in sustainability. For MCTV, I'm Patricia Perry. 2 Saturdays ago, the Texas Tech football team suffered one of their worst losses in recent memory to UT, while West Virginia nearly pulled off an upset over then-ranked number 4 Oklahoma.
Needless to say, many Tech fans went into this past weekend's matchup against the Mountaineers with a little hope that the Red Raiders would bring home a victory. But the team had some surprises in store on the road in Morgantown. MCTV's Nathan Boles joins us in studio with a look back at this past weekend's matchup in sports. Nathan?
Thanks, Matthew and Patricia. Texas Tech football was looking to bounce back from giving up 70 points to Texas, and they managed to get back in the win column on the road Saturday against West Virginia. Texas Tech jumped out to a 17-0 lead off of 2 Sir Roderick Thompson touchdowns, one of them coming after linebacker Colin Schooler forced a West Virginia fumble. The Red Raiders looked like they would continue to dominate the game, but Tech's offense sputtered as West Virginia scored on their first 3 possessions. Running back Letty Brown ran for one, and quarterback Jared Dagey threw one to Isaiah Esdale, and the game was tied at 17 apiece. But in the fourth quarter, Jonathan Garibay came up big when the Red Raiders needed it, kicking 2 field goals, including the go-ahead kick with 18 seconds left to get the road win for Texas Tech 23-20. Not only did Schooler have a forced fumble that led to a Red Raider touchdown, he also had 15 tackles, one short of his career high. For his efforts, he was awarded Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, while Garibay won the conference's special teams honors with 3 made field goals, including the eventual game winner. Texas Tech is now 4-1 on the season and 1-1 in Big 12 play. Up next is Tech's homecoming game against the TCU Horned Frogs on Saturday at the Jones. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. and the game will be televised on ESPN. Tech Volleyball got their first top 10 win since 1996 with a win over Baylor on Friday. Although it was close, the Red Raiders got down 2 sets early, but they started to come back with big runs in the 3rd and 4th sets to force a deciding 5th. The 5th set was a back-and-forth affair with 11 ties and 6 lead changes, but Texas Tech found a way to get it done. Kenneth Sauer with the final kill as Tech wins 18-16 in the 5th. Saturday was a different story. Baylor came out dominant to win the first set 25-13. Tech did get the 2nd set by 2, but Baylor didn't go away this time, winning the 3rd and 4th sets to come out of the weekend with a split. After committing 27 attack errors and 14 service errors on Friday, Baylor made just 14 attack errors and 7 service errors in the win on Saturday. The split series brings Tech to 1-3 in Big 12 play and 11-6 on the season. They will come back to the United Supermarkets Arena to play the Iowa State Cyclones in a 2-game series Thursday and Friday. Thursday's game will start at 4:30 p.m. with TV coverage on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Tech Soccer also went on the road for the weekend with a game against Baylor on Thursday and Texas on Sunday. Baylor's Taylor Moon started the scoring early off an assist from Elizabeth Kuhlman, but the Red Raiders held on as the shots were about even. Sure enough, in the 39th minute, Kirsten Davis got the equalizer with her left foot and also moved into sole possession of 2nd place in all-time goals at Texas Tech. In the second half, Charlotte Teeter got the rebound off her own penalty kick to give Tech a 2-1 lead, but Baylor wasn't done. Tech goalkeeper Madison White made 6 saves in the second half, but it wasn't enough to stop Baylor from scoring 2 goals, the last one an unlucky bounce off the crossbar, giving Baylor a 3-2 win. Against Texas, Julia Grasso scored an early goal for the Longhorns, past White to put Texas up 1-0 early. Both teams are pretty even the rest of the way as they both had opportunities to increase their lead. In the 33rd minute, Kirsten Davis took a shot that bounced off the left post. Then on the rebound, Macy Schultz hit it off the crossbar. Those were Tech's biggest opportunities to avoid the loss, but it just wasn't meant to be as the Longhorns won 1-0. After going 0-2 on the weekend, Tech Soccer is now 2-2 in Big 12 play and 9-3-1 on the season. The Red Raiders will attempt to bounce back in Lubbock at the John Walker Soccer Complex against the Oklahoma State Cowgirls on Thursday. First touch is at 7 p.m., and the game will be televised on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. That's all for sports. Back to you, Patricia and Matthew.
Thanks, Nathan. So Matthew, with homecoming events back in person this year, are there any of the traditional events that you'd like to attend?
Well, Patricia, I've been interested in the So-Sing event tomorrow night. It'd be interesting to see which Greek organizations have to offer as far as their performance, so I'm excited to see those.
Definitely. I'll have to go to the pep rally and the bonfire on Friday. Those are always so much fun. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.